Eren Yeager lied. Now that's not a surprise, is it? He lied to his enemies. He lied to his comrades. He lied to his family. But here's the thing. He also lied to us, the audience. And for years, we bought the biggest, easiest lie of all. I'm doing this to protect Paradis Island. It's a good lie. It's noble in its own twisted way. It's the lie of a patriot, a soldier willing to do the unthinkable for his home. But what if it's only a fraction of the truth? What if that noble lie was just a mask? A convenient excuse to cover up a final goal so dark, so personal, and so profoundly selfish that it reframes his entire tragedy. What did Eren Yeager really want? Today, we are not just analyzing, we are conducting an autopsy on a dead man's motives.
Let's set the stage. The rumbling. 80% of humanity, gone. Wiped from the face of the earth by a boy who once swore to kill every last Titan. The official story, the one he tells himself and others, is a brutal, cold calculation. The world will never stop hating Paradis. To protect the people I love, I must destroy the world that hates them. It makes sense. It's clean. Except it's not. Because his actions don't make sense under this lens. Not really. If this was only about saving Paradis, why actively push away the very friends he claims to be protecting? Why attack them, fight them, and put them in a position where they had to stop him? If it's all for them, why turn them into enemies of the state? And then there's the confession, the real ones, the broken, weeping confessions he makes in the paths, the agonizing words he spoke to Ramsey, the little boy he was about to kill. No. For Paradis is the political answer. It's the excuse. It's not the reason. The real reasons are buried much deeper, and they are far more human.
The first layer of this is what I call the savior gambit. Think about it. Why would a man committing global genocide create the very heroes who are destined to stop him? Eren, with the full power of the founding Titan, could have easily controlled his friends. He could have frozen them. He could have wiped their memories. He could have done 1,000 things to keep them out of his way. He didn't. In fact, he did the opposite. In his final conversation with Armin in the paths, he admits it. He needed them to oppose him. He pushed them away, called Mikasa a slave, beat Armin to a pulp. All of it was a calculated act. He was painting himself as the ultimate, irredeemable villain. Why? Because by becoming the world's monster, he gave his friends the most incredible, awful gift. He gave them a role to play. He turned them into the saviors of humanity, the ones who bravely stood up to and killed the monster Eren Yeager. This is a profoundly selfish motive. He wasn't just saving their lives, he was trying to write their future. He wanted to guarantee, in his own twisted way, that they would be safe, revered, and honored by the very world he was trying to destroy. He shouldered the world's hatred so they could receive its gratitude.
But even that's not the core of it. For me, the real, terrifying truth is something else. Eren's true motivation was never about the future. It was about a single image from the past. Remember his devastating confession to the boy, Ramsey? He wasn't crying because of what he was about to do. He was crying because he was disappointed. He was disappointed that the world outside the walls wasn't the empty, beautiful, undiscovered world he read about in Armin's book. He was disgusted that it was filled with more people, more walls, more hatred. The most telling line in the entire series might be this one. When I learned that humanity lived beyond the walls, I was so disappointed. This is the key. Eren's ultimate goal wasn't political, it was emotional. It was pathological. He didn't just want to save Paradis, he wanted to wipe it all away. He wanted to see that sight from his book, a world of vast, open, empty freedom.
The rumbling wasn't a military strategy, it was an act of terrible, childish wish fulfillment. He wanted to auto-delete the world until it matched the beautiful, empty picture in his head. He wasn't a patriot. He was a slave to his own twisted, absolute concept of freedom.
And then there's Mikasa. His cruelest lie for me was also his final act of love. "I've always hated you, Mikasa." We all knew it was a lie. He confirmed it himself in that pathetic, broken final talk with Armin. But why tell that specific lie? Because Eren understood Mikasa better than she understood herself. He knew her love for him, whether it was pure love or a product of her Ackerman blood, or both, was a chain. It was a burden. It defined her entire life. As long as he was alive, she could never, ever be free. So what do you do when you love someone so much that your very existence is a cage for them? You become a monster. You become something so hateful, so irredeemable, that you force them to break the cage. You force them to kill you. Eren's "I hate you" wasn't an attack. It was the beginning of his final gift to her. His goal wasn't just to save her life. It was to liberate her from him. By forcing her to be the one to land the killing blow, he was forcing her to finally choose a world without him. He gave her back her own agency in the most brutal way imaginable. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're just romanticizing a mass murderer. You're making excuses for him. It's simple. He was a nationalist monster who wanted to save his home. And to that, I say, you're not wrong, but you are incomplete. We are not denying his goal of saving Paradis. That was absolutely part of it. But what we are saying is that saving Paradis is insufficient to explain his actions. If his only goal was protecting the island, Zeke's euthanasia plan was a viable, far less bloody option. If his only goal was to buy time, a limited rumbling would have done the job. The sheer apocalyptic scale of 80%, that can't be explained by logic. It can only be explained by the personal, selfish, and deeply broken motives we just talked about. The tragedy of Eren is that he didn't just have one goal. He wanted all of them, all at once. He wanted to save Paradis, and he wanted his friends to be heroes, and he wanted to see that empty, free world. And he wanted Mikasa to be free from him. And the only path that let him have all of it was the path that led to hell.
This brings us to the great philosophical trap of Eren's life: determinism versus free will. Eren Yeager, by gaining the power of the founder, became the freest man in the world. He had the power of a god. And yet, in that same moment, he became the ultimate slave. He saw the future, and in seeing it, he was locked into it. He knew he would commit these atrocities, and try as he might, he couldn't change a thing. He had to keep moving forward. So here's the question. Did he really choose any of this? Or was he just acting out a script that was pre-written by his own unchangeable, monstrous nature? For me, this is the core of it. Eren is his desire for freedom. And that singular, all-consuming desire is what guaranteed he would never, ever be free. So I have to ask you, of all these hidden, selfish motives, which one do you believe was his true driver? The need to make his friends heroes? The need to liberate Mikasa? Or that dark, childish disappointment in the world? What was the lie that you believed?
Eren Yeager isn't a simple hero or a simple villain. He is a profound, terrifying mass of contradictions. He wanted to save his friends, so he put them through hell. He wanted to be free, so he became a slave to fate. Perhaps the biggest, most tragic lie Eren ever told wasn't to us, it was the one he told himself, that he was doing this for other people. In the end, he got almost everything he wanted. His friends lived long, full lives. Paradise was saved, for a time. Mikasa was free. But as he stood there, in the paths, with the full knowledge of what he'd done, as he achieved 80% of his dark, broken dream, you have to wonder, did Eren Yeager, the boy who sought freedom, ever really get the one thing he truly wanted?